the big thing was with racing for me was like we always knew it wasn't going to be an occupation of mine. We always knew I wasn't going to be making millions of dollars someday doing it. It was something that was for fun and to build character in me. And something about it always was. I mean, there was always like two rules that we always kept when we raced, and it was the first rule was always have fun. Like that's why we're here. We're doing this for fun. Like at the end of the day, yeah, we're going to take it serious because we're putting a lot of money and effort into this. Like you got to take it serious at that point, but you got to have fun, because if you're not having fun, one, you're not going to do as good as you could, because when you're having fun, you're going to perform your best. And then the other goal was always it was race the track. Don't worry about everybody else out there. Worry about yourself. It's you against the track. And if you execute all your points, like you're saying, you're going to be the best you possibly can be. And you're out there worrying about what everyone else is doing, who's around you, looking back behind you. Like you're going to,
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Just Keep Showing Up podcast. This is your host, Derrick, and I am here today with Collin. What's going on, Collin?
Not a whole lot. Living the dream. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Living the dream. Yeah, it's a very exciting week for me, and you and I had an opportunity to talk about that a little bit at the gym, which has just become like this amazing therapeutic place for me, man. It's so much more than just working out, and I'm just so thankful for the relationships I've been able to establish there. And I really do believe it's an energy thing, man. You meet people and I don't know, you're just kind of on the same wave and just things click. And that's how we find ourselves here right now.
Yeah.
And then your girlfriend, I think I can say that, did an episode and it was so interesting. We talked about that. And she's like, oh, we could do it together. And I get Collin. I was like, well, no, I don't want to push, anything like that. And then it came around where you was like, hey, I'll do the show too. And I'm very excited, man. I've expressed to you how you inspire me, just your story and who you are. So
yeah, you had asked
me.
So
thankful, man.
You asked me probably, I don't know, 5-6 months ago if I wanted to do it. And at the time I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not really sure about this. Not my personality. And then you and I sit in the sauna every time I see you in there. I'm like, oh, Derrick's here. This is going to be an hour or two session in the sauna. We just started chatting in the sauna every time, and I was like, you know what? Like, if we just recorded one of those sessions, it'd be the same thing. So and I was like, you know what? Like, I feel like my story is too good not to share. And a lot of people at Grind, like you said, have approached me, and Grind is just such a great place. Like, only gym I've been to that I feel like it's a community. It's not just a gym. So I don't go there just to work out. I go there to see the people too. So it's kind of nice.
It's great, man. I agree with that, man. Just exactly what you're saying. So my first question, man, is just if you can share a little bit about yourself for the people that's listening, man, to kind of get an idea of who Collin is.
Yeah. So my name's Collin, obviously. It'll be on the episode. I'm from Northern Indiana, so about like 10 minutes from where the University of Notre Dame is. I grew up there, spent the first 18 years of my life there, and then I went to Purdue University for college, spent another 4.5 years there, did the half of the victory lap for the fifth year. May have messed around a little bit too much those first couple years. And I got a mechanical engineering technology degree there. I got a job out in central Pennsylvania. And that's what brought me out to the East Coast. I actually met Nora out in central Pennsylvania, which is crazy. She went to school in Indiana, and I met her out here. And that job didn't work out for me, so I ended up taking a job down in Maryland, and I've been here for about 4 years now. And that's how I ended up at Grind meeting you. So yeah, just growing up in Indiana, riding dirt bikes, building jumps with friends, potato guns, all the stuff that people grow up around cornfields do. There's not a lot to do out there, so you make your own fun. And in 2022, I broke my back and had a L1 burst fracture, and we'll get into all that as well in this episode. Very life-changing. So
I appreciate that, man. It's so first thing I'm gonna say, very well that I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. You went to Purdue. There's a deep connection with Purdue in New Orleans, and that is Drew Brees himself. We thank you for Drew Brees.
The man gave a lot of money back to our school, so I like him as well. So
man, and he's done a lot in the community too. He's just a stand-up guy and was a very good football player. And I'm not sure. I know the announcement, and of course this episode will air a couple of months from now. But right now, present day, the NFL Hall of Fame, they had their people who were, I guess, selected or nominated, but I only saw 4 people get I think that's going to be selected this year. I don't know if that's true, but if Drew Brees is not a first ballot Hall of Fame, that's interesting. If he wasn't one of the.
Is he eligible yet? I don't know if he is.
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure. I just maybe I saw some on Instagram and probably scrolled past it too fast, so I could be tripping. I'm just kind of sensitive about it. But yeah, that's
He's got it about. I'm right there with you. So
I mean, he has to be, yeah. And I think it's so interesting, man. I thought you couldn't tell me that you and Nora didn't meet in Indiana, because she went to the University of Indiana, you went to Purdue,
yeah, she went to
and y'all
the lesser of the two state schools. So
were like, I'm staying out of it. I have a really good friend of mine. I say really good friend, a guy I met in the army. He graduated from Indiana as well, and it's interesting enough. He is the first person who introduced me to the process of applying for medical school and taking the MCAT.
hmm
So I kind of had an understanding of that when Nora was talking about that and everything. It's just crazy how the connection is and
hmm
all that stuff. So
yeah, it's
yeah, it's cool.
really is a small world realistically when you
Yeah,
need
it,
more
it
people.
is.
So
Yes, and it kind of talked about that already with this, man. So yeah, I want to jump into the questions, man. And this is something new, and I appreciate you being open to take this route because previously on the show I would ask like a very broad question. What do you do for continuing to show up? What do you do for yourself to continue to show up? And I recorded an episode that's going to air. I think the episode is going to air like in September, and one of the guests was like, "Hey, that's kind of like broad, and it kind of got me to thinking. I was like, well, it would be kind of nice to have questions. We can kind of structure the conversation. I guess that's what life is, and that's what doing a podcast is. You kind of grow as you go, So there's no recipe for it. So I'll start with the first question, man. What's a moment in your life when you almost gave up but chose to keep going? And then kind of what pulled you through that situation?
yeah, I mean, I can think of a lot of different moments in life of like, wow, this really, really, really sucks, and like, why me? Like, why is this happening to me? There's
Mm-hmm.
countless times through racing. I mean, anything with racing when it involves motor vehicles, like I'm
Yeah,
injured, you don't have full control over everything there. There's stuff out of your
yeah,
um, so there's moments there. There's like going through losing people in life. There's like failing classes. There's a bunch of different stuff in life.
yes,
Um, I've told you this at one
yes.
point in time. Like I had lost over 60 pounds at one point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
There's moments on that. It's like, wow, I just want to keep this, like, this sucks, and like breaking my back, which we'll get into that at some point on this. But
Yeah,
I think just the toughen up, and like you got to toughen up and get going, or you're gonna get ran over.
yeah,
No one's gonna come get you. The sun's gonna still come up tomorrow.
mm-hmm.
All on you, only what's best for you.
Yeah,
Kind of like saying like, no, not me. Like you need to get up and get going. So like the
mm-hmm.
people around me, Nora, my family, my friends, watching them not quit for you in those moments, like
Yeah,
they continue to stand there and hold you up. So it's like, you know what, I can't let these people down.
yeah, yes,
I think I listened to the episode you just did with Beth, I think her name is.
yes, yeah, yeah, yes.
It's
Very good episode, man. Yeah,
similar to this. That life is like a lot of peaks and valleys. I like to say that a lot.
yes, it's
Like
true.
the lower the valleys, the higher the peaks. So like
Hmm.
you can't have those peaks without the valleys, because there is no good in life without the bad. So I think a
Yeah,
lot of that is just like, you know what, like accepting it for what it is and facing it head on is what I like to do a lot of the time.
yeah, I like that, man. And like what you said right at the end, accepting it for what it is and facing it head on and understanding. Also mentioning the peaks and valleys. Like you have that peak, you may have just come from the valley, but you also reminded during that time that you once made it to a peak. So you can kind of just flow through life and also relying on the community that you have in your life and trusting that those people are there in your life for your journey, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing. And I know Nora touched on that, like how important community is. And I was talking to someone at work, man, just yesterday, and I was telling them how much I appreciate that I'm not like gifted enough in certain areas where I don't have to rely on people. It kind of keeps me humble, but it keeps me wanting to have a community around me because I know I'm at my best when I have communities around me, and
Hmm.
sometimes we have things that happen in our lives that'll remind us of that, or we need those people, you know what I mean? Like kind of help us
Yeah.
reach
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
full potential as our community. So
Hmm.
yeah, so it's
Yeah.
really good, man. You about to say something? Just if you was about to say something.
No, no, no. I feel that, like, just seeing those people around you, kind of holding you up and helping you get through those moments.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like, not to discredit anyone, like a lot of getting out of those valleys, or that's all on you. Like you have to want it, and you have to go get
Yes,
it yourself. So
and that's a very good point, Colin. Man, that it's because you can have the community. That's very good that you said that because you can have that community around you, and no matter what they do, no matter how much they do it, it
hmm
still has to be that person that wants to do it. You know,
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
can pull you all the way. They can actually literally pull you up to the top of that back to the top of the peak.
Hmm.
But if you're not willing to stay there, or if it's not something that you want to do for yourself, you're going to come back down, you know, because you didn't. It's almost like something simple as like the beginning of the year with the gym. You know, everybody has this idea of like, hey, I want to get myself in shape. And I always love that moment that I know the gym is going to be packed because I'm like, okay, the gym is going to be packed, but maybe two or three of these people are going to get caught and they're going to stay, you know.
Hmm.
But it's easy to do something for a little bit when somebody else is like encouraging you, pushing you, but you have to be the one to sustain yourself. You know,
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
ultimately it comes back down to you. Even with your big community, they're there to support you, but they can't do it for you. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
so
easy to
that's a very
watch
good
all
point.
the other people around you doing it too, but then once they stop showing up, or are you going to keep
Mm-hmm.
showing up? So
Yes, yes, sir. I agree with that, man. So what does showing up look like for you on hard days versus the good days? You know.
yeah, I think it's just like it's hard. I mean, you're going to wake up some days and it's like today at the gym was rough for me. Example, it's just like I wasn't feeling
Yeah.
it, but you know what? Like you got to get there. You got to give the best you have. And
Mm-hmm.
I something I like to always like do, and this I do this in work, professionally, personally, is like just want to know that I gave the best effort that I could give with what I had to work with, and
Yes, sir.
I never want to like be like, oh, somebody be like, wow, you didn't succeed at that. It's like, well, I gave the best I could with what I had, or like, oh, you failed at that. It's like, well, with what was put in front of me, I put the best effort forward. And I remember as a kid, my dad used to always say this to me when racing and stuff. He'd always be like, sometimes your best isn't good enough. And he meant it in like a positive way. Like, like
Yes.
sometimes it's just not enough. And it used to drive me nuts. And I used to get so mad when he would say it to me. But I think it was building work ethic in me. And it's something that stuck with me to today. That it's like, okay, like
Yes.
somebody can be more talented to you, but at the end of the day, hard work's always going to outpace that. So,
Yes, and I just wrote a quote down, man. That's just like good. These always turn into like therapy sessions for me, man. It's like so good. It's a couple of things you said. You know, I wrote down hard days. And you mentioned effort, and I immediately the way you explained effort in your job, I wrote down peace. And my question is like, do you find that you still have peace even on those hard days? You know, you gave all your effort. You can drive home with peace, knowing I gave
mhm.
it all I had today. You
Yeah,
know.
that's how it is for me. Like if
Mm-hmm.
we fail at work, it's like, you know what? Like we fell short, but we know we gave the best we could do. Like we gave it everything we had,
Yeah.
and like that's all we
Yes.
had. And unfortunately, maybe it wasn't good enough that day, but we at least gave it what we had. So you can go home
Mm-hmm.
peaceful. It's like, oh, what if we would have tried this? What if we would have done that? Like in your head that was the best we had. So
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
want
like
to
to
ask
keep
you
that
this
in mind.
question. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't hear you. Yeah. What did you say? Or you just probably just
I
finishing
just
that
know
out.
that's something I like to keep in mind. Just get the peace
Yeah.
and keep it going.
This is something I heard today, and it's about running in your race, in your lane. I want to ask you this question based on your experience and knowledge about racing. This guy, Ryan Clark, that has this podcast called The Pivot, and he was doing his talk on Instagram. I said it was like a 2 minute clip, and he was talking about the importance of running your race and realizing that in your lane, you almost pretty much can never lose when you're in your lane running your race. And it made me think about you just said your dad was saying sometimes your best isn't good enough, and ultimately when you hear that right away, you think like, oh man, who I am wasn't good enough. He never ever once said who you are isn't good enough. He said
Yeah.
your best isn't good enough. Your best today wasn't good enough. And I
Mhm.
ended the quote by saying, but you're always good enough. You know, and
Yeah.
then I
Yeah.
think about a race. I went to a NASCAR race for the first time. I went to the Truck Series race, and I was able to listen to the scanners. You know, and you can hear the crew chief talking to the driver, and they all have a plan of how to run their race. So it makes me. I want to ask you with motocross on a motorcycle, you guys make a plan for you to run your race. And you can
Mhm.
execute your plan to perfection, and that still may not be good enough for that day to win the race, but you can
Mhm.
still complete that race with perfection based on your plan. Now I'm asking, is that a true statement? You know,
Yeah, I
and kind of
mean,
you see the
the
hard days with the effort.
the big thing was with racing for me was like I we always knew it wasn't going to be an occupation of mine. We always knew I wasn't going to be
Mm-hmm.
making millions of dollars someday doing it. It was
Yes.
something that was for fun and to build character in me. And
Mm-hmm.
something about it always was. I mean, there was always like two rules that we always kept when we raced, and it was the first rule was always have fun. Like that's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing this for fun. Like at the end of the day, yeah, we're going to take it serious because we're putting a lot of money and effort into this. Like you got to take it
Yes.
serious at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have fun because if you're not having fun, one, you're not going to do as good as you could. Because when you're having fun, you're going
Mm-hmm.
to perform your best. And then the other goal was always
Mm-hmm.
just it was race the track. Don't worry about everybody else out there. Worry about
Yes.
yourself. it's you against the track. And if you execute all your points, like you're saying, you're going to be the best you possibly can be. And
Yes.
you're out there worrying about what everyone else is doing, who's around you, looking back behind you. Like you're gonna make mistakes. It's just not gonna
Yeah.
work. So any of the
Yeah.
times I ever raced and I let my emotions get the best of me because something happened in the race, it never ended
Mm-hmm.
for me. It was never like, oh,
Yeah.
I got mad at that guy and out there won the race because of that. It's like, no, I ended up crashing because I got mad at him and was overriding trying to catch him, and then I went down. So it's stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's like it's you against the track. It's not you against the other 30 guys out there. So
Yeah. Colin, I don't know if you realized how and I don't want to say this, man, like I'm being cheesy. I'm being truthful in how I'm feeling about what you just expressed, but how insightful what you just said and in the order that you said it. And I'm going to communicate back to you how it translated into my head. And you said you were racing knowing that it wasn't going to be something that you did to make a lot of money, but it was building character in you.
mhm,
So immediately I started thinking, okay, you're doing something that's building character in you, and that character that you're building has the potential to make you a lot of money in your normal life. You're like
mhm,
being able to deal with normal life situations. And then you said the number one thing is we're gonna have fun.
mhm,
And when I think about having fun, I think about I probably have the most fun in my life when I'm able to be authentic and be myself. Right.
mhm.
So when you go to this track, have fun. Having fun equating to be who you are, be yourself when you approach life. Then you said, it gets even better, Colin. You said we're racing the track. We're not racing the other guys out on the track. I mean,
Mhm.
that is life 101. That's life 101, man. It's like you're racing, it's you against life. It's not you against all these other people that surround you in life.
Yeah.
And that's how you can stay at peace, I feel. And that's how you can come back and know that your effort that you put out that day was good enough. That is like
Mhm.
amazing. And
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
like what you did as a kid prepared you for adulthood. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
and
that's phenomenal, man.
I never at the time never realized that it's what it was doing. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of people look at most action sports like motocross, skateboarding, a lot of these kind of edgier sports, I would say, and they like think, oh, like a bunch of punk kids out riding dirt bikes around causing mayhem and stuff, which like
Yeah.
there's some truth to that. You got to be a little loose in the head, like my dad always said.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna be dumb, you got to be tough. So there's a lot of truth to that.
Yes. Yeah.
But like I do think there was a lot of lessons learned in racing
Yes.
alone, and like moments where it was like, wow, I totally just got kicked in the teeth, and I'm laying here, and I you either got to get up and keep going, or like the races don't stop. It's not like any other form of racing where if there's a crash, they stop everything and everyone
Yeah.
clears out and stuff. Like you go down, the race keeps going. So you either
Mm-hmm.
get up and keep racing, or you sit on the ground and cry about it. So I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of character built in that of like getting kicked in the mouth a lot through racing, not terribly every time, just like, hey,
Yeah.
getting knocked
Yes.
down, but you got to pull yourself back up because it is an individual sport at the end of the day. Like you can have all
Yes.
this team around you and people helping you get to the starting line, but once you go off the starting line, it's just you. There's
Yeah.
nobody
Kind of
else
like
out there with you. There's no teammates. It's you and you. It's you and the bike. That's it.
the peaks and valleys, man. You have that complete community around you, but once they say go, you have to be the one that's nobody else on your team can drive the bike for you.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
have to ride the bike for yourself. So that's amazing, man. That reminds me of golf. When I started understanding golf better, I realized that just because someone I'm playing with pulls out their driver, I haven't been hitting my driver straight all day. How about I just scale back to a club I'm comfortable with, even if it just goes 150 yards off the tee box? At least I can see it in the fairway. I go and hit my next shot because that guy may be hitting his driver, hit it in the trees. It's all about how many strokes it take to get to the green. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
understanding what you need to do to adjust based on effort that you have for the day. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's just, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
You don't want to overdo it. You got to do what you can do and be
yeah,
reasonable. So,
exactly, man. Another question, man. Is there a mindset, routine, or belief you lean on when motivation fades?
um, I don't know. I try not to get into the too like the cheesy stuff too much, but it does work
Yeah.
sometimes. I think you and I just talked
Hmm.
about this recently. I do like
Yeah.
some of the David Goggins stuff. I know it's
Yeah.
very cheesy. But like his 40% rule, the taking souls, I think that stuff's awesome.
Hmm.
Um, the peaks and valleys, like you and I just talked about.
Yeah. Yes.
Just trying to find more in the tank.
Hmm.
But just like not giving up, I think is the biggest thing, and realizing
Yeah.
that like, yeah, this sucks right now in the moment. And I think you actually said this to me for the one of the first times I ever really heard this was like yeah, that might have been the worst thing. That might not be like the worst thing that's ever happened to anybody, but it might be the worst thing that happened to you. So
Yes.
to
Yeah.
value that
Yes.
and like honor it and take it and appreciate it for what it is, but then face
Hmm.
it head on and keep going. So
Yeah. Yeah. I agree, man. It's and I feel it's continue to trust your life's journey and understand that because I'm not a big believer of like I'm a big believer of goodness can come from everything that happens, but I don't think bad things absolutely need to happen to you in order for you to get to a certain place. It's just
mhm.
like we kind of navigate through our life. Because wouldn't tell someone you need to get robbed in order to appreciate what you have. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Uh, but I do think goodness can come from the things we experience in life. That I
Yeah, I mean, I
100%
think that's
believe.
what makes you who you are and prepares you for
Hmm.
the next bad moment in life because there
Yeah.
are worse moments coming, most
Oh
likely.
yeah, they are coming.
Yeah, they're coming. It's just
But with that same mindset and believing that, there's good things that's coming as well.
yeah, I
So
mean, those it's just
uh,
gonna get better, they're also gonna get worse, so it's gonna come with
yeah,
time, so
yes, I agree, man. Uh, so looking back, what small decisions or habits made the biggest impact on where you are today? And I know you went through a lot of stuff. Maybe we can kind of pivot to your accident, a lot of things that you went through with that, and then I just can tell you what I see. I see someone who I understand a little bit of your story,
mhm,
and you're showing up at the gym. I mean, it's like legit. Just keep showing up, and it could be. I can be intimidated in a gym sometimes, and I'm able to come in there and do certain things. Man, you coming in there still working through your injury, doing
mhm.
what you can, and really showing. I mean, I didn't even think about this before I asked the question, but you're showing exactly what we're talking about, man. You're running your race. You're in your lane,
Mhm.
still with those same principles from the track, and inspiring so many people in the gym, man.
Yeah. So we'll tell the story about my accident so everyone can kind of
Mhm. Yeah,
understand what we're talking about, and then we can get back into it.
yeah, yeah.
In early 2022, like right after I moved down to Maryland, it was probably 3 or 4 months after I moved down here. I was out just on a practice day riding, doing something I've done countless times. I
Hmm.
mean, I have thousands
Yeah,
of hours on a bike. I always joke to people I can probably ride a bike better than I can walk, which
yeah,
is especially true now.
yeah.
But it was just a normal practice day and I had a really, really weird crash and something that like when I think you can have this in any sport or any moment in life. Like in football is a good example of it. Like when you're about to get hit and you know it's gonna hurt.
Hmm.
Like you see it coming,
Yes,
like, oh, it's coming, this is gonna hurt, or like
yes,
if you get hit and you're flying in the air. Like as I
yeah.
was crashing, I was like, oh, like I was like, this really can't be that bad. Like this is pretty low speed. Like it was a weird section, kind of a weird crash, fell off weird. And like
Yes.
as soon as I hit the ground, I instantly had like no feeling from the waist down. I was like instantly
Mm.
paralyzed from the waist down. And I was like, I've known other people that I raced with that have been paralyzed and are still in wheelchairs. And I was like, all right, I know what this is. Like I knew right
Yes.
away. So instantly I freaked out for a second there. I was like, this is not good, not good. Like no feeling, nothing. Ended up
Hmm.
getting flown to a hospital by a helicopter, which was an experience in itself. Very expensive
Yeah.
day. And they did a bunch of scans. And on the way over there, the nurse, she like as soon as we landed, she stopped in the helicopter and she's like, I don't want to freak you out because like when we walk in here, I'm gonna announce a bunch of stuff. And I had never been in a trauma center, which is
Mm.
an experience in itself. And she was like, you bursted your L1, like it's completely gone, it's shattered into your spinal cord. You have a spinal cord injury, like they're gonna have to do some sort of surgery to like stabilize you. So she's like,
Yes.
I just want to let you know because when we walk in there, you're gonna be freaked out. And we walked in this trauma
Yeah.
center, and she wasn't wrong. Like
Oh
there was
wow.
8, 10 people all doing something different to me at the same time, like asking me
Wow, man.
questions, like putting
Uh
IVs in
huh.
me, going through stuff. So then they did another scan there. The surgeon came in probably 10 minutes later and he's like, all right, here's the game plan. This, and this. Are you have any questions? And I'm
Yes.
like, I, I don't know, dude.
I
Like,
don't know what I don't know. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like pretty good plan here. And like, I was
Hmm.
like, I guess we'll see how this goes. And immediately went into surgery. It was like a 4 or 5 hour surgery. Came out of it. Worst pain I've ever been in by far. But
Hmm.
my official injury was a incomplete spinal cord injury. So I was a T11 Asia D, which
Okay.
Asia is how they evaluate people for spinal cord injuries. I
Yes.
was T11 Asia D paraplegic, incomplete. So that means you
Hmm.
have some nerve and muscle function below the point of injury. Um,
Yes.
I'm now an L4 Asia D, so I've moved down 5 levels of my vertebrae in terms of
Okay.
normal function. So down to my L4, I'm completely normal. Everything past L4 is not normal.
Okay.
So that's where that gets a little funny. So that's why some of the people at grind probably see me limping around in there and stuff. But
Uh-huh. Yeah.
so that was a very long-winded answer on what happened.
Yeah, yeah, no, no,
But
you
that's
can explain it. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing that, man.
yeah, it turned into a about 8 to 9 months of physical therapy. Nora's an absolute trooper. She slept on a
Mm-hmm.
recliner next to me in the hospital for about 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Some very rough moments, her and I there, like not between us, just like experiencing things together that were very dark moments, and some very.
yeah.
We look back on some of the moments now, we laugh at some of it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those
Yeah,
moments in there were just hilarious. Looking
yeah.
back on them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a crazy injury. A lot of the stuff that I have below my point of injury is permanent. It probably will never come back.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I do go to grind every day and try to work out is because I need to do that or physical therapy, and I don't want to do physical therapy. So I chose to go
Yeah.
to the gym instead, and try to work through it on my own. So
Okay. Yeah. That's good, man. I appreciate you sharing the story, man. I just can't imagine, yeah, going through something like that, and even the trauma part, like of getting to the hospital, like you were explaining. Once we go in here, all of the different sirens and probably all kind of stuff just going crazy, and then trying to maintain your, I don't know, calmness in that situation,
mhm.
and believing that you're going to be okay. So
Yeah, and I've been knocked out multiple times before from riding, and I was like, dang, why couldn't I have got knocked out? Like this would have been perfect time to get knocked out right now and just not
yeah,
remember any of this. But it was
yeah,
fully there the whole time, which was crazy.
yeah, yeah, and something. I mean, something great may come from all of this. Something. Yeah, I mean, we're sitting on a podcast now, and hopefully, somebody's inspired by your story, man.
I'm hoping.
Um,
That's part of the other
yeah,
reason I just decided to do this with you. So
yeah, and I appreciate it, man. Uh, and this, I'm asked this next question, and I'm very interested to hear what you say. If you could go back and tell your younger self one thing about perseverance, what would it be?
I would probably say, whew, I think this
There's no
goes back.
wrong answers, man.
This goes back to like this might seem like the hardest thing you're going through, but there will be times that it does get harder.
Yes.
But I think I do distinctly remember like right after the injury happened, and it was just like a moment, a lot of like why me and like mad about it,
Mm.
very
And
angry,
that's
like
fair, man. That is fair. Yes.
yeah, and then like going to physical therapy. So I did my physical therapy in Baltimore, a lot of it there,
Hmm.
and it was at a pediatric hospital actually. And you go into these places, and it's everyone there is like you. They're going through the same experiences you are, and a lot of these
Yeah.
people there, they're like younger kids, and you're like watching this, and you're like, wow, like if they can get through this, then I can get through it. So it's
Yeah.
like finding inspiration in others, and then just like
Hmm.
I think just like looking back, just like tell myself like I just like keep beating the drum. Like it just give it time. It's gonna come around eventually, and it
Yes.
will get better. I've known some other people that have gone through similar experiences as me since my accident, and I've
Hmm.
reached out to a few of them and talked to a few of them, and just kind of told them
Yes.
hey, this probably seems like the worst possible thing that could ever happen to you right now in this moment, but I promise you, it like does get better. Like give it time. Stuff comes around.
Hmm.
Like there's more meaning to life than everything that's going on at the moment. So like just give it time. So
Yeah. Yeah. That makes me think about. And of course, this is completely different, a whole different situation, because your situation, we're talking life and death, and your normal ability to function the way you were used to function. I won't even say normal, just
mhm.
functioning the way you were accustomed to functioning.
Yeah.
And but within the principle of what you're saying, it reminded me of a thought that I had coming back to sports with Lamar Jackson, the quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. And I can remember maybe 3 seasons ago when they were so close, man. They had a great season. I was like, oh, they about to win the Super Bowl. It's a heartbreaking loss. I think maybe it was 2 years ago with the toe thing. I think their tight end foot was right on the toe. I mean, his toe was right on the out of bounds line, and they didn't get that
Yeah.
touchdown.
Yeah.
And all I could think about was, man, how in the world do they pull themselves? I know they're getting paid, but once you start getting paid like that, that becomes your normal life. So the money is
Mhm.
not even a big thing no more. I'm like, how do they get themselves ramped back up to do this all over again and try to come back and try to win? And then they have a
Mhm.
heartbreak again this year. And you just said something, just keep beating the drum. I mean,
Yeah.
what else do you do? Just keep showing up, and
Yeah.
just and
You can
keep
either keep beating the drum, keep showing up, or don't do it, and then you're just gonna live your life with regrets. So like
And
you got
it's
to be
really that simple,
well.
Colin. Like
So
as elementary as that as that
yeah,
sounds, that is the option. And I think the beauty in that, man, is the fact that we have to own that and say you do have a
yeah,
choice. Like
yeah,
even no matter how much life sucks, you
hmm
still have a choice on what you want to do. And that's so
yeah,
powerful, you know?
yeah. I
It's
mean, that's the like probably one of the greatest things about being people is like you do have that
yes.
choice and you do have that decision to go and most for the most part do what you want to do. So
That is that's billboard material, man. Because I start thinking about animals. Like, I mean, it is, and I'm not being cheesy, man. Like it's because it's so simplistic, but also it requires us to take ownership of our lives.
hmm
And when you have to take ownership, now there's not an excuse. And I'm a big proponent of there is such a thing as a explanation. So everything that a person's saying to you is not always an excuse. Sometimes it's just an explanation. I got caught in traffic. That's why I'm late. That's just an
yeah,
excuse. Well, no, that really is an explanation. I was leaving
mhm,
the same time I left every day for an entire year. But this day I made it, I was late. I did everything I normally do for a year. So 364
mhm,
times it worked. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I'm just telling you my explanation of why I'm here late. So uh, yeah. I'm gonna go to this. This will be the last one. Who or what has been a source? And you kind of talked about Nora. Uh, but who or what has been a source of encouragement for you when you needed it the most?
Yeah, I would say, obviously I talked about Nora a little bit.
Yeah.
I hope
Yes.
she doesn't listen to this because I don't want it to get to her head. She's get her head any bigger than it already is. But no,
That's funny because she doesn't come off like that at all. But you know her, Nora.
I know
We
Nora.
know. Yeah.
Please come at him
We
saying
know
that.
the version of Nora that she shows us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys all know grind Nora. You don't know actual
Yeah.
Nora. Good. She's great. But I would say the people at grind, honestly,
That's
I
awesome.
try to go there every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the first gyms that I've ever actually enjoyed going to.
Yeah.
I don't love working out. Obviously, I'm not like the most ripped guy in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's never been enjoyable for me. That's
Mm-hmm.
I think why I liked mountain biking and racing dirt bikes so much is it was a way to stay
Mm.
active, but not to do traditional, just like lifting weights
Yeah.
and running on a treadmill. It's never been my thing. So just getting like talking to the people there and I think I mentioned this a little bit ago. I used to get mad when people were like, "Oh, you're so incredible," or "Oh, you're such an inspiration," and it was always just like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
why me?" Like I'm glad
Yeah.
that I'm inspiring others, but it's like, well, why this have to happen to me? And then I
Yeah.
realized, like, you know what, like this is incredible, and like give yourself some credit, and like
Oh yeah, man.
um,
Yes.
hearing that it is encouraging. Looking back on it, and I do enjoy talking to people about it and stuff like that. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why I like grind so much. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a
Yeah.
bit of encouragement. Everyone's there for the same reason. And
Yeah.
the more and more I've talked to different people there, it's like, wow, like this guy's going through something crazy right now too. There's like there's other people there. We have like multiple cancer survivors at our gym. There's other people that have been through crazy injuries. I mean, there's crazy
Yeah.
people at grind. It's just like, wow, like people are truly incredible in perseverance and like they can just
Yes.
make it do anything they want. So it's cool to meet the other people there. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
incredible stories at our gym of people
Yeah.
coming over in crazy events in their life and getting there to that point.
Yeah. I agree, man. And I've been fortunate enough to talk to quite a few people, and quite a few have been on the podcast, and it's so true, man. That people, and that's kind of was the vision for this podcast. Is I wanted to talk to everyday people that that are in the circle of life that I'm living in right now. Because
Mhm.
I feel like our stories matter, and taking the difficulty I went through and giving that meaning in life. And now I've been presented with opportunity, exactly what you said. Is so many people have gone through so many difficult things,
Mhm.
and our difficulties now can almost be celebrated in a way of uh, it's helping someone else navigate this life. Something that's I mean, it costs a lot of work for us to continue to pursue and get better.
Yeah.
But it's not like this monetary thing. We have to give someone. You kind of almost pouring into that person things that you can't even buy. So that's what's been
Mhm.
great about all of this. So yeah, one last thing, man, is if anything you shared resonated with anyone that's listening, and it's like, man, this was just so inspiring to me, and so many things he talked about, just kind of I could see myself in it. Like, what kind of, and you've given a lot of advice. Do you have any advice for that person? You're talking to another Colin. What advice would you have for him?
Well, there's a lot. I mean, it depends how far back we're gonna go, but
Yeah, yeah.
I would
Just what you
say,
have on your heart, man. That's flowing out.
I would say just like stick with it, and don't give up. I know that's very. A lot of people say that, but there's just a lot of moments in life where you're like, this just is. I don't see how this is gonna work, and it's like
Yes.
you're looking at somebody else, and you're like, wow, like look at them. They're so lucky to have that, or like, wow, they're blessed, and like, why were they given that opportunity and not me? And I think the thing is like it's not a like must be nice. It's like a okay, I'm gonna work for that. Like you like
Yes.
changing your mindset of going from like a feeling bad for yourself and just I mean I have I've experienced some stuff in life and I think other people have as well. And I haven't experienced every hurdle in life, but it
Hmm.
seems like if there's something you want in life, you can go get it. Like there's nothing that's stopping you from going and getting something. Realistically, like
Yes.
just it might take you 40 years to get it, but
Yeah.
like if you work hard for it, you can go get it. Like it's up
Yeah.
to you to like really go get it. And I don't know, like the Goggins thing, taking souls, like go take some souls, like go after it, get after it, go to
Yes.
work. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
you definitely have a lot left in the tank than you probably realize. And I try to keep that
Yeah.
in mind a lot of the time.
Yeah. Basically you can have the things you want. You just put the effort in, put the time in, and the work, and then walk away from life at peace.
Yeah, yeah, and I
That you
mean
did with all your
everybody wants that. Everybody wants that peak, but nobody wants the climb to get there. So it's
yes.
everyone's looking at him like, oh, that guy must be nice to him, but it's like you didn't see what he did to get there. So take a look at what he did to
Absolutely.
get there, and then you realize,
1,000%. Yeah,
yeah,
you got to look at the behind the scenes work, not the stuff that you're seeing on the billboard.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it so much. This was awesome. Like I
Yeah,
do these things and I get blown away when I'm thinking it's going to be a certain way. I'm like, what in the world? So, thank you, man. I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you.
hopefully
Thank
I
you.
didn't ramble on you too much. Nora was saying
Not,
the other day that
not at all.
that somebody
Thanks everybody for checking out the show. Until next time, peace.